Well, my camera, which can detect faces and things, when I pointed it at me, it said it couldn't detect a face. Maybe it could detect an egg, I don't know. You can't do photography without coming out into the field and taking photos, or at least that's what I've been told. And so I'm here today in a place called the Secret Forest, which is not far away from Clearwell Caves. It's in the Forest of Dean. Lovely little place and very much undiscovered. I really like it here, and we'll find out why in today's video. In fact, the Secret Forest is around 180 million years old and is made up of a limestone cave system. In those caves was iron ore, so it was the perfect place for Iron Age man to build a mine. Over the years, that mine collapsed, leaving interesting shapes in the ground and exposed tree roots. So one of the things I've been wanting to do for quite some time is actually to try and get some pictures of some really nice sort of gnarled wood, some really nice roots and stuff. And very close to us we've got a place called Puzzle Wood, but they don't let you take your tripod there, and actually taking a tripod on something like this is going to be incredibly important, because you're going to want to get those long exposure shots. You're going to want to shoot at your lowest ISO on the camera that I've got behind me. That's an equivalent of 50, although its native ISO it starts at 100. Having said that, you can still get some really good shots if you just do it, have a variable ISO. But if you want to get the least amount of grain into your shot, then the only way of doing it really is going to be to reduce that shutter speed. And you can't reduce your shutter speed enough unless you have got a tripod on. I mean, I've been doing shots and they've been 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, because there really isn't a lot of light here. There's some lovely bits of dappled light as you sort of gaze through the forest, but it's not enough to really light up a scene. So what I'm able to do here, because they let you have your tripod, is to stop for a bit, to be quite relaxed about how I'm photographing stuff, to only really take stuff that I actually think is going to be a worthwhile shot, and that's why I came here today. Again, I'm going to say, and I've said this in other videos before, I hope, if I've released them, I don't know, I might not have released them, let's see. The reason that this isn't somewhere that's out in the public. I've paid to come in here, I'm vlogging in a private forest essentially, but the ability to come here, I mean, most people have got that same ability, it's not that far outside of a city to come to a place like this, and you don't need to spend a ton of money on going and staying miles and miles away. You can come to places like this and get some absolutely fantastic shots, hopefully. So I set off down the steep and sometimes slippery path to try and find the right exposure. The difficulty with places like this is that you have to keep to the path. It's not open countryside. You have to respect what the organisers are saying. But standing on the path, I have seen what I think is going to be a really interesting shot. It's got multiple levels, which should be interesting in the frame. It's got a nice, interesting light here. Just need to set up a tripod and get it. I've just stopped for a minute because I'm waiting for the light, which means I might be here quite some time. I've got a shot, it's all framed up, it's ready to go. We've got multiple exposures going on, that'll happen. It's on a 2-second thing. I've taken my hat off because actually it's quite warm, even though I'm in the middle of a forest and there's no sun. Oh, I think the sun is coming out now. Now this bright spot here is getting brighter and brighter and brighter as the exposures are getting longer and longer and longer, and that wasn't something that I wanted, so I'm going to have to monitor these. See, some of those are far too dark, far too bright. Put this on 1.6 and try again. It's very difficult to get this perfectly right because I don't quite know when the sun's going to be in and out. Interesting. I'll have to see how that comes out, but I think having this pool of light a little bit darker would actually have done me a lot better. I'm going to put this back up to 2 seconds now, because actually it's a better exposure for the darker parts of the photograph. And I might put the I might put the interval from 1 stop to 2 stops and see if that has any effect. Let's have a look at that. Again, back with it, waiting for the light to change. Could take ages. I don't know. Still, it's far, far, far too bright at the moment. So I'm just waiting. Everybody's waiting. I did try this shot a bit lower down as well. And I noticed that I didn't actually see everything that I wanted to get in frame. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to sort of wait for a bit. Just wait. And I got it. It took a while, but the sun finally went down, and as it started to go down, I was able to release the first one. I think I've got a good exposure. There are 5 different exposures between 2 and 30 seconds. The 30-second one really is bringing out everything, all the details in the shadows. The 2-second one just brought out a tiny little bit of light, the dappled bit of light. So I'm going to be able to mix that in Photoshop when I do all of the stacking for this. Excited about this, kind of. I don't know if any of it's sharp. It should be, but I've been having a few problems with sharpness, so we'll see how today goes. And here we have the final image, a fairy grove in a secret forest. I'm very pleased with the way that this has turned out. Definitely the stacking worked. There's a little bit of soft focus in some of the areas that I would have liked to have had sharp. But on the whole, I'm very, very pleased with this. And the fact that I was able to set my new camera onto an ISO of 50, it really means that there's virtually no grain in this at all. It's a lovely image. I'm so pleased with the way that it turned out. But that wasn't the end of my day, and I found myself sitting by the side of the path looking at a picture that actually has become my favourite picture from this day. I've stopped here and I'm sitting on the floor because I found something rather interesting. It's a nice sort of little root system that I'm trying to get several things done at once in this. First of all, I don't know if you can see my my screen right now. I've got the centre of this image is now in focus, and I'm just going to release the shutter again, which is rather loud and obnoxious, especially in quite a nice, quiet, peaceful place like this. But what I'm going to get there is 5 shots of bracketed exposure, and I've also, this is the second lot of focus stacking that I've done as well. So it's a little bit complicated, this one. I get 5 lots of exposure over 3 different lots of stacking, and then when I get back into Photoshop, I'm just going to have to do the best I can to get the right bits matched with the right bits. It's not going to be easy, but it shouldn't be that difficult either. We'll see. One of the great things you can do in Photoshop actually is you can put things into groups, and you can have a layer mask over a whole group. So I could group together all of the ones with a particular exposure or with a particular focused stack, and then I can work on that to blend all of them together in the end. It really just depends what you want out of the image when you've finally got something. And this is what I got out of the final image. Now I should say, because I was recording as I was taking these images, that I messed something up and I wound up with completely the wrong exposures. Nevertheless, I was able to get this image out of it, my favourite of the day. I love the way these roots look like tentacles crawling up from the ground, clawing out into the world. And once again, there's so little grain in this image, and the quality of it is absolutely great. It's a shame that it's pretty much just destined for Instagram. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you like what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button, and I would love it if you'd subscribe and share this video with your friends as well. Join me next time for some more of my photo adventures.